We're getting ready to head out for our first sit back here on our Southern Public Land Unit after going out west and hunting with the guys from the hunting public. And tonight, me and Chance are going to split up and do a couple of observation sits. Well, I'm headed in right now. I'm gonna go in here, do a little bit of a hanging hunt. I'm gonna be by myself tonight. Chance is gonna go over that way, sit on the river stand. We're gonna split up tonight and try to do some observation sits, see if we can't spot some deer. Well, just made the walk in. As you can probably tell by my face, I'm sweating quite a bit. It's like 90 degrees here. Me and Brody split up today, try to just cover some more ground, try to find some bucks after we've had a couple slow hunts down here. I'll talk more about it when we get to the stand, but I dropped the waders off here. Thought the river was going to be super high because of all the rains we've been getting. It's way lower than when we were in here before. So we're going to knock the seed ticks off and head to the tree stand now. Well, made it up into the tree stand here finally. It's definitely a hot one. Probably lost like a gallon of water of sweat. Didn't know what that would do to the deer movement, but as I was climbing up here, I think it was a little spike or a little 2x2 was crossing the river. I think it was actually bedded right on that point, about just down from where I dropped my waders. So 20 minutes later, he was already up out of his bed. He was just going to cross the river, came right down. So just decided I didn't want to go back across the river, but deer was up and moving, so hopefully tonight yields some good results. And the river might be a good spot with it being this hot. They got to get a drink. I already downed a whole bottle of water, so they're going to need a drink. So that's kind of what we're counting on. So we'll see what crosses tonight. Already seen that little guy. Let's go see what Brody's got going on over there. Finally got in here. Got this tree stand put up here in this tree. We're right off the edge of an alfalfa and soybean field. I know there's bedding behind the camera here and back over here. We're blowing a wind like this, so we're cutting it real close. It's still fairly early right now, so I expect the deer to be coming out here pretty soon. We're doing 2 observation sets tonight, just trying to get an eye on some deer. The woods are too thick. If we were to push into these woods back here, it'd be too thick that you even do an observation set. You'd have to set up on the exact right trail. So it should be a good night. It's a little warm, but right here, as you can see out in this field, it's shady on this side. So I expect the deer, since it's so hot, maybe come out here and feed on this side right here in this alfalfa because it's shady and a little bit cool. So I'm going to be quiet here, sit tight for a little bit. But hopefully I can get a shot at one as they come out here into the soybeans or alfalfa. But I'll throw it over to Chance right now and we'll see what he's doing. Well, there's a doe and a fawn right now crossing the river. It's probably 7:15, so we've got another hour left, but deer are on their feet and they're out there getting a drink just like we thought they were, so deer are starting to move. Just had a doe and a fawn cross the river here. So we got a little bit of time, probably an hour left before dark, hour and a half. Just about to do an interview. And there's a doe crossing too, coming from around the corner, same way I came in. So, deer are starting to move. Hold on one second. this is the spot we were sitting in on opening morning, and had that nice buck come out heading back in that way, and all these does are coming out of there going out to feed. So now we definitely know it's a bedding area, but based on what we've seen so far, we need to move over there. So these stands are going to get moved here relatively soon, especially now that all these deer are crossing right there. I wonder if Brody's seen anything over there. He's hunting right along that field edge, so he should be about getting close to seeing some deer too. Hopefully he's seeing something. There's a doe now. I think it's that doe and that fawn worked their way this way down the river. She just stepped up on the bank. She was eating some stuff, so she might be headed this way. Looks like she might have turned around now though, not really sure. Can't really tell what she's doing. She's getting closer, but this is another good time to talk about the fact that if you're sitting on the soybean field, which is just that direction, probably half mile, quarter mile, half mile, so not terribly far, but these does aren't going to make it there till dark at the rate they're moving. So if you're set up along that field edge, you're not going to see these does, let alone whatever buck is still back there, still in his bed right now probably. So that's why you got to get closer to the beds, especially on public land, because you wouldn't see them otherwise. Well, that buck just exited the field back over here. There's a nice little buck, probably a 2.5-year-old 3x4, but he came out here into this alfalfa And I can't shoot into that alfalfa. That alfalfa's private, so any shot I would have had, he would have had to have been down in here in this little grassy opening here to my left. But I'd love to sling an arrow at it, I think, but like it'd have been hard not to shoot him. So nice little buck. That little marsh back in here is good bedding for these deer. It's got water in it and good cover. No one's walking through that marsh. Good bedding cover back there. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bigger buck back in there. Whether we'll see him tonight or not, I don't know. It was pretty hot today, but that buck came out pretty early and it's cooled down right now. I'm going to drop some milkweed and see where my wind's going. So, still got a little bit of time left and hopefully a chance of seeing something over on the other side of the property. Well, we got back here to the house. It was a warm night tonight in the 90s, but there was still good deer movement. Chance saw a lot more movement than I did on the other side of the property. Saw a small buck across the river, and then several does coming down to the river and stuff like that. So he had good deer movement over there as they headed out to the soybeans. And I also saw that nice buck. So for being 90 degrees, we saw some good movement tonight, and kind of reassures us that some of the spots we're thinking about are working. So we'll probably head back to the river stand when this cold front moves in later in the week. As always, thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe, because like I said, we'll be back in that river stand in the next vlog, hopefully with some bucks walking across that river.